And
All
we're
right, are we
live.
live?
All right.
Yay.
Let me pop out the chat and mute YouTube, and then we'll get it going.
Perfect.
Let's get it
Fireplace in the
going.
background.
Yeah, it's putting off some nice heat there, Reed.
But
I can feel it from over here.
Is it loud? Should I turn it down? Should I turn it up?
Oh, dude, that's roaring.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
I love it,
It's
dude.
so cozy in here.
You know what's great too is that I can see the fire from your picture. Also, it's like it's reflecting off your frame.
Yes. Lots of fire happening in this
Oh
apartment.
yeah, I love it. As long as the
Getting
place doesn't
heated.
burn down. We can't spare the firefighters right now.
So what are you guys doing? What are you up to today?
Whole lot of not much.
I've got lots of work to do today actually, because I'm still on my placement.
You do not. You're an AMC.
That?
Ah,
Oh.
What is that supposed to mean? I mean, there's plenty of work to do there.
Wow. Okay. Into my web. Okay. Let's go.
Awesome.
Anyway, I have a lot of work to do today because I have placement. I've continued on my placement with Kingston Live, so I'm going to be continuing that for however long. So I've got like grants to write, funding to kind of go after in this economy. It's very hard to do. And then on top of that, I've got like 13 projects to try to tackle down over the next couple weeks. So
ew, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm doing placement as well. I'm doing it at with Dress for Success.
oh, okay, right.
Yeah, so
What do
I'm helping them implement their customer relationship management system. So they're going to be using Salesforce. But all my classes finished last week. So
Right.
Oh, really?
yeah. Because we do like 3 weeks straight of placement
Oh, okay.
Okay.
for third year. So in third year, you just do like 3 weeks straight.
So your semester's over. So you're now officially just full-time Madam President.
Yes, full-time Madam President.
Do you get your
Part-time
own
placement.
Secret Service?
I mean, I can't say because it's a secret.
Oh,
Can we
that's
be-
true.
Oh, so we can't even say if we can be your Secret Service because that's totally top secret.
Yeah, no, it's top secret. We'll talk after.
We'll talk after, right? Awesome. Good. So you guys, you're surviving the social distance quarantine. Everybody still seems to be in pretty good spirits. So let's get some questions flowing around. What has been your favorite and your least favorite thing about the last 10 days? I'll start with Reed Cunningham because he's so busy.
My favorite thing. God.
Right?
Well, here's the way I see it. These next 3 weeks, like school was going to happen anyway, right? Like these assignments were going to happen no matter what. That's the only thing in my life that hasn't really changed. So the way I see it, I was going to be self-isolating anyway, due to all the hecticness that's going on. Just minus all stuff with my band and all my extracurricular activities, like that's all canceled. So it has freed up my time a little bit. But the way I see it, I was pretty much going to do the exact same thing over these next 3 weeks anyway. So that's sort of like a nice thing that I don't have to experience FOMO. That's maybe my favorite thing of this whole thing.
Yep.
My least favorite thing is I don't get to do any of those fun things that I would experience would not to experience FOMO. So I don't know. It's sort of like I see a silver lining in everything about this, but it's also I think just sometimes my least favorite part is trying to battle some serious anxiety sometimes that I have right now, which I think is something real that we're all facing sometimes. And but it's kind of nice to know that everyone's facing it at the same time, like no one's in it alone.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
points
that's
for
true.
sure. I think definitely those sentiments can definitely be shared. How about you, Danny? Do you have a favorite, least favorite thing right now? I know you were kind of feeling kind of cooped up a little bit last week. How are you doing today?
Oh, still, like I have nothing favorite about this. Like touching on what Reed was saying is the only thing that's gone really is FOMO. FOMO doesn't exist anymore,
No.
because everyone's stuck in their house,
Not missing out.
Exactly. Other than that, yeah, no, it's I'm not having fun. It's hard. I'm very much like an extrovert, I recharge, with other people's energy. So it's tough, like just being at home and not being able to see anybody or, hang out. I don't work well at home, so it's just kind of like I feel like, oh yeah, I'll get to it later, and then it just like, oh my god, it's time for bed.
Yeah,
So
it does fly by.
yeah, so I just have to like I have to figure out how to be able to work from home, and I'm slowly, I mean, it's been like what, a couple weeks already, and I'm just now figuring it out. So, it's been a rough transition for sure.
Well, we have a question from the email crowd here that I just got, and it's for Madame Presidente. Elle, a student would like to know, what is your favorite thing about being president?
About being president? Okay, so just a little background, I guess, on that question. So I've been interim president since September. So, and then my actual official president start date was today. So that's exciting. My favorite part is I've always really felt like I've been a big voice for the students. So having that title of president has just kind of pushed that even further. I'm able to represent people every single day. Every single email I send, every meeting I go to is all for the students. And that's probably my favorite part. It's just supporting all of my peers.
So my question is, so what changes with your role now that you're president as opposed to interim president? Is it really just the title, or like, do you have more responsibilities now?
No, nothing changes. So before I was in the same position as Leighton, as manager of student engagement. So there was a lot of changes going from that. Interim president is the same as the president position. It was basically interim is just in between hiring time. So you have to have somebody within that position who can do the job. So I did that, and then I applied for the president position. So it was the same job, a lot more responsibilities on like the college, like being a representative with the college and meetings and committees and things like that, and bigger projects from switching from manager to president.
Is that
that makes sense?
Did you get that from this last election that just happened?
Yeah, so it's a hired position now.
Okay.
So it switched. The board had made a change to the bylaw so that the president is now a hired position.
Okay.
And the 7 board members are still all elected.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was technically like my start date was at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does what kind of like responsibilities are you having, or what kind of like challenges do you face right now that we are in this quarantine, right? Like what kind of things are you going to be able to, how are you doing things?
Yeah, so it's definitely been a switch. I mean, I am able to do a lot of like my project work and things like that online, a lot of communication, everything switched to virtual. So I'm in and out of virtual meetings on a daily basis, which can become super hectic throughout the day, especially when I'm trying to work on those projects, because I'm in and out of meetings where I have more work to do, but I don't have a lot of time to actually do it. But I'm figured out a schedule and managing it really well. The biggest, I think, other challenge is just the lack of student connection, because I'm not on campus. There's not people coming into the office like with comments or concerns wanting to chat about something. So that's the biggest challenge. Like personally, I'm trying, like on my social media and the essay, I'm trying to really like push that people can reach out to me if they need something or if they have questions.
How about, do you think other people in the student body, and like such as ourselves or anybody else, can help get that going?
Get what going? Get
just
more
students?
Just
in terms of like staying connected, like making sure that people are able to feel like they can come to the essay. Like, is there anything that needs to change, or is it really just getting the word out there?
It's reaching out for sure. And I think just knowing that we're still here, like you said earlier, Reed, we're all in this together. Yeah. So we're all still here. The essay is still here, 100% able to support students. So just kind of spreading that message. And we're the type of organization where we can answer any question. So if a student has any question, big or small, they can reach out to any one of us.
That's good. So we have another question from the email crowd. And this is from a prospective student. Danny and Reed, can you just maybe give us a minute rundown of the AMC program, what you guys like and what you guys kind of do and how it prepares you for a career in marketing and business?
Ooh, so I like the AMC, and like I said, I think it was our first episode um, that I talked a little bit about my journey into the AMC. Like for me, the AMC program is great, right? Because I'm able to flex my creative muscles, right? So it's not so much of like that rote and that reading and that test and like these kinds of things. It's a little bit more flexibility in that sense. It's a lot more creative, I feel. You can, cooperate with your team members, with your classmates into doing these really great elaborate business, or not business plans, but ad plans and ad campaigns. Edit videos, which is something that I've actually gravitated towards a lot, and I've been doing that even on my off time. I actually just finished a video not that long ago. So that's what I like about it, right? That it's not so much like in school I never did well in like the whole reading and retention and that kind of thing. So that's what I like about this, that it's not so school like, if you will.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing of that at AMC, what we talk about is in terms of marketing is we study demographics and study like who your audience is and how exactly you can do that research to go about finding out what is the audience for your brand. So a lot of it is, being a people person, being a people reader. If you kind of enjoy, coming up with and understanding different types of people, it's really interesting to find out how marketers and brands and companies sort of target at certain audiences, and how the way of advertising works today, which is kind of like, when we first came into AMC, like they describe it as like advertising and marketing is sort of like the Wild West today. Because there's so much going on. There's so much social media and media out there today that it's really hard work to get your brand out front. So it's but there's a formula to do it. There's a way to do it, and it just takes time. And I think a lot of the professors here are some of the experts of knowing how to do that. I think for myself, so I came back to school not exactly knowing what I wanted to do. Like I've been working with a theater company for a long time. And I think I was realizing that I needed to go back to school to get some confidence in myself to go apply for another job. And I think that's exactly what AMC has benefited out of me. That's given me the confidence to go out and find a job and do whatever I want. And that's the kind of nice thing about AMC, is that you don't necessarily have to be in the marketing agency field. Even though they teach you a lot about that, you can kind of take these skills into anything that you want, whether that's media, creating your own business, anything really in the business sector, or even for myself. So I'm a musician, right? And so I came into this being like, how can I promote myself as a brand? How can I promote my music as a brand? How can I get myself out there better as a musician? So in that sense, it's really helped me. But again, I think in terms of confidence coming back, that's sort of the big thing that I've taken away from the NC program.
Yeah, some great reflections there. Thanks for that, Reed. Just maybe touching on your personal musician side, how has this whole epidemic kind of forced you to kind of rethink your marketing plan and your outreach to potential clients? Because obviously you're not down at Blue Martini anymore right now.
Yeah.
What kind of things are you guys kind of doing to work through this?
Well, it's hard to get 8 people in a room together right now, right? So there's that challenge, right? So, this is sort of, the way I see it is, this is a reflection period, really. Like, this has been a reset for me. This is sort of, okay, taking a step back and realizing, what can I do from here on out? Like, is there anything that I can change? So it's given me some time, like some free time to be able to write a little bit more, to be able to, listen to a little bit more music, and kind of just like not need to stress out about music so much anymore. The thing that sucks is before all this sort of happening, we were set up we applied for festivals. We had a showcase where we were going to play in Ottawa. About 2 days before we were going to play at SLC, we were going to go to Ottawa and perform about to about 50 sets of couples that were getting married this summer, which was hopefully going to be our entire summer. And that's, you know, playing at weddings, playing at conferences, that's a huge payday.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you know, and under obviously understandable circumstances, that had to be canceled. So I don't know what the future holds in terms of where I'm going this summer. And that's sort of the big thing right now. Like we're seeing a lot of musicians do live streams, and do creative podcasts where they're interviewing other musicians and sort of asking about how they're navigating through these times. And quite literally, and I know so many people are going through the same boat, being in live crowds, being in front of lots of people, that's how musicians make money. So there's a huge concern of what's going to happen to our music scene. Is this going to uplift it when this is all over? Or, you know, there's a lot of questions going around of how people can survive without being in front of a live crowd.
Yeah.
And I think like times like these, right? It's your, you know, like a lot of creativity is going to come out of this, right? So like a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's like, I don't know what to do. We got these meetings, we got these things. So people's like, okay, we'll work from home. We figured out, okay, well, you know, let's do these Zoom meetings, right? I'm sure that, you know, like with enough time, and this seems like it will be going on for at least a little bit of time, you know, like I feel like there will be some sort of like creativity that will come out of it, right? Something that will, some sort of new innovation or something new that will definitely propel that, you know, living room concerts. I know iHeartRadio is having living room concerts, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a new era, right?
Absolutely. So let me pose this question to you guys then. So let's say, unfortunately, this situation lasts for the next, you know, 8, 12, 16 months type of thing. Give me maybe two things, right? Give me maybe two things that you're hoping that either you or society kind of gets out from this. So I'll start. So one of my things is you're seeing a lot less cars on the road and a lot less emission pollution right now, especially in major metropolitan areas. And I think it's really forced employers to look at, do I seriously need this many people in my office on a daily basis? I think we're going to see a lot more working from home. And I think that's better for the environment, and it might be mentally better for people to not have that commute every morning, every afternoon. So that's just one kind of view that I think is going to kind of take place. Do you guys kind of maybe see any other trends kind of following this in the next year?
Yeah, I do. Like along the same lines, like I think the economy, I think people are going to start, you're going to see the production of local goods shoot up. You're going to see society doing a lot more online, even like school and things like that. I think you'll see a lot more online classes in like public schools, elementary schools, and things like that, as people are like making these kinds of transitions.
Yeah.
And then just like what Reed was saying with the creativity behind it, I think this is definitely forced like not just business people, but people in general in society to really take a different perspective and to kind of adapt. Like if you're going to do something, you're going to do a project, you're going to want like multiple ways to do that and to complete it, because you never know like what's going to happen or what's going to be the best route.
Yeah, good call. How about you, Danny?
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, yeah, we are getting a lot less pollution, a lot less people going to work, but you know, like I don't want to get like too political here, but like I feel like, you know, with the stock dropping and the economy going down and things like that, I hope that, you know, capitalists learn that it's like, you know, the value doesn't come from the stock market, it comes from the workers, you know. So I feel like now, you know, it's like we need to, you know, not to sound too socialist or communist, but it's like, you know, it's like, let's take back our power as workers, you know. It's like the economy is on our backs. Yeah. So, and right now the whole world is experiencing that it's like, the economy is on the worker. So we need to take that power back.
Well, you see just how incredibly fragile the world's economic system actually is. And I think there's going to be tons and tons of lessons to be learned here in the next year about how we move forward as a society, maybe from not a so fragile economic model. So
Exactly.
It'll be
I feel
cool.
also, I mean, now that I got this little soapbox, but it's like I feel like maybe we can rely a little bit more on our community too. Maybe not so much on like our government agencies or, things like that. We can rely on our community. People, I don't know if any of you guys know, but like there are people going around delivering groceries for other people, picking up their pharmaceuticals, and it's all community based. You know what I mean? It's people that it's your neighbors. It's the person, that lives across the street that's doing these things for you, So that's my biggest take is I hope that we are able to relate to our community a little bit better, to get to know our neighbors more, to do more of these kinds of, uh, community organizations, right?
Yeah.
Not having to rely so much on governmental powers, because we all know government doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Danny. I think that's my biggest takeaway from this whole thing is just sort of every sort of world disaster that we've gone through in our lifetime has been through war of resources, war through, racism, whatever that may be, like it's always a conflict with each other. Whereas this is something that we're all battling as an entire society. And I think that's the first time that we've ever gone through that. Yeah, quite literally. So hopefully that's what it does do is make us realize that, we're all fighting this battle together, and let's set our differences aside for just a moment.
Exactly.
Right. Good point. So, question for Elle and Reed. So corporations, organizations, schools, institutions, one of the big things they're going to have to face is finding value to give to people, give to students, give to shareholders, give to customers.
Not shareholders.
Well, yeah, not shareholders. But what are maybe one or two things that you would be expecting as a student that an institution like SLC would provide going forward that would give you value? Would it means one-on-one Zoom time with your professor? Would it means a completely automated, uploaded online system? I mean, what kind of things do you think schools, institutions, organizations can do to really provide value right now while people are stuck at home?
Well, right now, I think a lot of those have been put into place. There's been a lot just with, like you said, the professors, like everything's getting introduced online. I think for myself as a student, the biggest thing for me is just having that support, and and really the college has also been really great about providing a lot of information for everything that they've been doing. So that's been really helpful. And I think to see that moving forward, like even when, this continues or when we get back, like just kind of still having those information pieces and supporting students. Because I'm the kind of person where I just want to know what's going on sooner rather than later. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably in my perspective.
Yeah.
What do you read?
Well, even before COVID-19, like I've always thought of education needs to be more accessible, more affordable for pretty much anyone. Education today is a bit of a privilege to be able to do. And sometimes some people take that for granted and some people don't, right? And some people fight for that. So I think, beyond what the college can do, I think that's where my questions lie. I think, something where the Ontario government and the federal government and all forms of government can do is to try to make education more affordable. And maybe that even starts from something small, like making just textbooks more affordable, making programs that we have to pay for on top of our tuition much more affordable or even free. Free tuition is obviously that's a big ask when people ask for that, and I completely understand that. I think obviously as an end goal, we should try to get to there, because there's so many things that we have today where we have Google, we have all these resources where if you have the desire, you can make your own education if you want to. Like technically, in a sense that we don't necessarily need the schools to be able to educate. I mean, in a sense that we do, because they're the ones that hold a lot of power with that knowledge and with that formula of how to get there with the education.
The resources, yeah.
It's the accreditation that they give you.
Yes, absolutely. Like obviously you need that piece of paper that tells you I can do this thing. Like, and that's the huge thing that they hold, and that's super important. So yeah, I think again, like making as many things as affordable as possible over the next little while, especially, you know, there are people that can't pay their rent right now, let alone
Yes.
get into school. So I don't know what that means. I think that a lot of programs need to be set up, but obviously that's going to take some time, right? Like we, you know, even if this was over by June, setting up programs like that, it will take, you know,
months or years, even
months or years. Like who knows how long that's going to take, but as long as we at least see those steps to like the right action being taken towards that, I think that's what I'd like to see, at least over the next few months.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely think, like I said, just going back to what I said a few minutes ago, there's so many lessons to be learned about how to improve what is going on right now in terms of companies and institutions, everything. So
I think a lot of those lessons too are like getting kind of off like the political and other people's side. Like a lot of that's personal too. Like I think taking this opportunity as a learning experience. Like for me, I'm somebody who's super involved in everything that goes on. So it's been such a switch, but I've been able to learn how to be more involved, like through social media, through virtual, through like just personally with myself. So I think in all, that's a big takeaway. I think everyone should take this time to kind of work on themselves and set goals for themselves and where they want to be kind of like come the fall or come next year, and just really take this opportunity to do that.
I think this is a really good time to do that. A lot of people always say like, you know, like isolate or go on your own, the walkabout, where you kind of like just, go on by yourself and figure things out. This is the perfect time to do that, because it's like, well, you're by yourself. You can't really interact with anybody else. It's like, it's time to get, under the covers and, figure some stuff out for yourself. Where do you want to be in the next couple months? Yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah, absolutely. Good time for self-reflection. Yeah,
exactly.
Side note, also, I think I found my new calling. I drew this while Reed was talking. It's our first piece of fan mail.
Why is my hair parted down the middle?
What?
My hair is parted down the middle. I never.
It's not.
I like how it's realistic, and I'm a little bit taller than you guys too.
just a tad, yeah.
I made myself a little bit tall.
I love it.
That's great.
Well, that's some good serious discussion. Is there anything kind of more lighthearted and fun you guys kind of want to chat about or say before?
Yeah, I do actually. I wanted to talk about how we're all on Zoom right now, and the only thing you can see is basically from the shoulders up, and so a lot of people around the world are doing the same thing, and it's reflecting in real life, right? I mean, today, yes, I am wearing pants, but Walmart has reported, that the sales for shirts and tops have gone up, but the sales for pants it hasn't. And the thing is that trend is across the board, because the Gap reports something similar, and Old Navy. They report that the sales for pants are either stagnant or lowering, while the sales for tops are going through the roof.
That's funny, eh? It's funny to watch how society just kind of reacts to that. So yeah, like booze delivery is up. Food delivery is up. All those kind of outlets right now are doing really well. So wherever you can get delivery, that is booming right now.
Oh yeah.
I want to add to Danny's. So next time you're in like a video meeting, whether it's with your friends or like some kind of conference, just take a second and ask yourself, who do you think is not wearing pants right now?
That's the game now.
There's probably one. There's probably one person who's not wearing pants.
I would bet it's Danny, though, out of all four of us. Would come on and Danny's not wearing pants right now.
It's so funny because it's like, okay, I'm just going to throw it out there. Like I curate my outfits every day, so it's kind of weird to not to just curate my shirt. It's like, oh, this is the shirt I'm going to wear, but it's like, what pants? You know what, whatever, it doesn't matter. Cause I have been either wearing no pants or sweatpants like this whole time, it's like the jeans, the dress pants, all that stuff.
No, I have to still wear the same. Like I'm wearing jeans right now. Yesterday I wore dress pants. Like I still have to get up and pretend like I'm still going to the office,
Mhm.
or I'll just like be slumpy, don't want to do anything, like sleep in bed all day.
Is that like a mental edge, Elle? You kind of need to get in the clothes to fit the part, to do the part?
Maybe like, I mean, my clothes, like actually what I wear vary. So it's not necessarily like the style of my clothes, but I think it's that routine of just
Yeah,
like,
right.
that's how I get my day started. Like I get up, make my bed, brush my teeth, get dressed, make breakfast. Like it's like a whole, like I have to do that.
Yeah.
If I don't, then it more feels like a lazy Sunday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I agree with that sentiment. Like I productive while we through these things. You know, I've done some of my work, but but the days that I am like the most productive, that I get the most things done, are the days that I take a shower. I go through my routine, like you said, I brush my teeth. I do all the things, I get dressed, and then like, oh, okay, now it's time to sit down and do the things that I need to do. Because if I don't, then like you said, it's just a lazy Sunday, and I treat it as such, even though it's
Exactly.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I see. My philosophy is like my energy kind of matches what the weather is. So, like for example, like today is a beautiful day, and obviously, like I feel inclined to put on a shirt, put on pants, and maybe shower and get my hair ready, and then come on here.
Obviously, you
Um,
started a fire too.
Yes, I had a small fire. I'm feeling very cozy in this nice little humble apartment, and but for example, like the few days before this, like it was kind of gloomy, it was kind of rainy, it was kind of like whatever. So I kind of just chilled out in my sweatpants and in my sweater, and I got a lot of work done. So like and on a day like that, like yesterday would have been a day if the virus hadn't existed. I'd have to go into school and have to, put on, force myself to kind of get dressed.
Yeah.
And this way it matches with what I'm feeling comfortable with,
Yeah.
Like, so if I'm able to feel comfortable in my sweatpants and get some work done, if it's a rainy day, then so be it. But yeah, on a day like today, obviously, like I gotta get ready. I gotta look at least presentable on a sunny Wednesday.
At least from the shoulders up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shoulders up.
Shoulders up for sure.
I'm actually wearing a midriff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crop top.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Love it. Good stuff.
Awesome.
Okay, guys. Well, it's been over half an hour, and I think that was a good start for our first live episode. So I'm okay with ending it there. Anything else you guys kind of want to part with?
Yeah, I just want to plug a couple things. So, like I said, like with our, kind of like going back to our little community things, it's like I want to plug the Mutual Aid Cataraqui. It's just a group that I do some grocery deliveries for them. We do some check-ins for people, that either live by themselves or don't have anyone else that can check in on them. So I just want to plug them real quick. Mutual Aid Cataraqui. We're also raising money for people that can't afford groceries or things like that. And so we're doing their deliveries. We're checking in on them. And you can find that all on Mutual Aid Cataraqui at WordPress. I don't know the whole, we'll link it in the video down, and you guys can definitely try to get involved. You can either be a delivery person, a check-in person. We didn't need help with everything really. And awesome. You can definitely sign up to do that, or just donate, or spread the word basically.
Great initiative, man. I like how you highlighted that. When you host an episode later on, maybe next week, I'd love for you to kind of delve a bit more into that, give us a bit more info for sure.
Definitely, for sure. We will definitely talk about that for sure.
Okay, well, thank you for your time today, guys. Appreciated it.
I just want
to
say one thing. Mine's like the same as always. Every single person in the world or from St. Lawrence College, literally anyone can reach out to me. My Instagram is Elizadora. Ask me questions, hang out with me. I'm here if anyone wants to say anything at all.
Chat with the president. There you go.
Yes, and we should end with a congratulations to Elle once again for being.
Thank you.
Hey, today's the day. Atta girl. It's official. Love it. Okay. Well,
what about you, Leighton? Where can people find you, follow you?
You can find me at Leighton_guy. This is my Instagram. You can also reach me at saengage@sl.on.ca. That's my email account at work, and I'd love to get back to you guys, hear your thoughts. We've been doing a lot of funding for people who need a bit of help right now in terms of school supplies, all that kind of stuff. So we're here if you guys need to reach out, need to chat, or you need some support. That's what the SA is for. So take advantage of it, and we definitely strive to help you guys out in a time like this for sure.
Awesome.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you next week for our live episode again. Take care.
For sure.
Awesome.